very concerning how we just seen Brad Keselowski. He does not look well enough to be in a race car. Um, Very, very bad limp. And look, my son suffered a
How
very
many
similar
cars we got left?
injury that Brad Keselowski has suffered. And I'm not much for giving
Oh, we're
out,
still going.
privacy things on airwaves, but that is a very, very painful injury, and it's a very long recovery time. And there's a possibility that Keselowski will never be able to walk the way that he was before. It's just
That
the
is
way
one
that they have to
badass car.
put that hip structure back together is it's he's got a lot of plates and a lot of screws and a lot of metal holding that thing in place. I just hope that we don't see anything like a head-on collision or anything like that with the inner wall, like what we seen with Kyle Busch several years ago that
I
broke his legs.
I get in the sense I get in the sense he wanted to get ready for Daytona, but with how bad his leg was, and you just described some of the healing process he went through, why try to push for Daytona when you know Daytona? And I'm not saying Brad is not meant for this style of racing super speedway, because he is, but why put your, and I get it's a Daytona 500, but at the same time, like, why push yourself for one of the most dangerous races of the season just to make sure, give yourself that extra week?
Okay, so let's go back to the winning you're in, right? Winning you're in, and buddy, you get you a win, and all of a sudden you're going to finish 16th in the points. You're going to do good. You're going to try to go for playoffs. Now, that's no such thing. So Keselowski feels like, obviously, that if he doesn't get in the car, his car may have a chance of not running as good, right? And so then he's buried down in the standings. He's going to have to work really hard to get it back forward. He believes that he's the best man for the ride to be able to get it in position so that when he is back 100%, that he can, chase a championship, or at least the goal is to be in the top 15. Look, last year was kind of a bad year for Roush Fenway Keselowski. I have to believe they started the year out with the penalty, and it pushed Brett Keselowski way down in the standings, and he had to work the entire year to try to pull himself out of that. That's probably what's echoed in his mind. He doesn't want to start this year out the same way that he started last year. But we all know that's a flip of a coin chance right there. All he's got to do is have a bad wreck here at Daytona, and we could see a season-ending injury for the guy that we call Brad Keselowski, who's now being interviewed by Jamie Little. Unfortunately, we're not able to play any sound, so I wasn't able to hear. But he has a significant limp. He is using a cane to get around. He looks stiff as a
So,
board, y'all.
so I want to throw this out quick. Cody Ware, or should I say Cody who,
Cody, who?
is qualifying right now. Um,
15th.
we need to once Ty Gibbs starts his qualifying efforts, this is where we're going to have to watch for the top 10 lock-ins for the next round of qualifying.
So I have a question because I have not kept up with all the rule changes over the last handful of years with everything I got going on. But I know once upon a time, if you started a race, I don't know if I think you just had to do one lap and got out, someone came in, you still got the points for it. Do they still do that?
Yes.
So why is that possible? Has there been talks of that happening? Like, I can understand, especially with the no longer when you're in. So I'm going to qualify and I'm going to start this race just so I get the points. Since now it's a little bit harder because you're not counting just on a win. So
Right.
is that play into effect here possibly?
That's a good question, Mr. CJ Sports. Whether or not he has a backup driver, I have not heard that he does or he doesn't. That is interesting that you would bring
I was
that
going to
because I
say,
think that would be probably the right thing to do based off of as we see how messed up he still is. But there again, you know, these guys feel the most comfortable when they're behind the steering wheel. So I guess he weighs the fact that he's going to be uncomfortable. He might as well be uncomfortable inside the race car.